All right, come on, come on, come on. If you can hear me once, clap. Can you hear me twice, clap. All right, we're about to get this thing rolling. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Clyde Higgs, and I'm the president of Atlanta BeltLine Inc., president and CEO of Atlanta BeltLine Inc., and I officially want to welcome you to what we describe as the ribbon cutting for Westside Trail Segment 4. And I'm going to read the room a little bit. I just like you all I got the heat advisory notification on my app. So we're going to be short with words and get this thing rolling. But I do want to also honor what is happening here today. So if you can imagine, 2 years ago, I remember the mayor and I literally doing the groundbreaking ceremony for this segment of BeltLine.
Yeah.
And this feels really good because a lot of folks said that this couldn't be done. We couldn't figure out the funding, all the various challenges, but we are here today, and this will be the longest stretch of contiguous BeltLine trail in the city of Atlanta.
Woo!
So you can imagine 5 bridges, 27 months of man hours, all sorts of challenges to make this happen. But it's really not about infrastructure. It really is about connecting people at the end of the day. And so don't get confused by all of this beautiful work that's being done, but I don't want to discount that. We got a mighty team that is really pushing this forward. I want to recognize Jay Seaver, who has been the project manager for this. Where's Jay at? All right. Jay, appreciate that. And also with the leadership of Kim Wilson, who is our vice president for design and construction. Not only has Kim led this team for this ribbon cutting, but Kim is also celebrating her 2nd year anniversary for a kidney transplant. So Kim, thanks for what you do. And so when it's all said and done, this time next year, so think about this now. This time next year, we will have almost 17 miles of continuous BeltLine trail. So if you are ambitious, like my board chair, John Summerhalder is, if you want to ride your bike literally from Washington Park all the way over to Piedmont Park, this time next year you'll be able to do that. So that's been really nice. We also want to make sure I recognize our TAB partners, Fulton County, APS, the City of Atlanta, and also want to recognize some of our elected officials, Councilmember Byron Amos. Where are you, Councilman? Very good. APS board member Loretta Bolden. Are you here as well? Thank you. And Fulton County Commissioner Dana Barrett is here as well. And my good friend Solomon Cavanis, who is our ATL DOT Commissioner. And our Commissioner for Parks and Rec, Justin Cutler, who does a fantastic job for us. Fearless State Senator Sonia Halpern is here as well. And State Representative Bryce Berry is also in the building. And so we talk about the BeltLine, and again, BeltLine team is obviously the quarterback for what you see here today, but this is not done in isolation at all. There are so many organizations from Trees Atlanta to the City of Atlanta that really support the build out of the Atlanta BeltLine project. So I just want to make sure that we caught up. And the mayor actually challenged me when I first got in this position, like, Clyde, we got to get on track. Let's make this happen. And so got challenged by the mayor. We're in a strong position today. We are ahead of our affordable housing goals. Let's be honest, that's important too. There is one person that deserves a lot of the credit and leadership for making sure that the city became more sophisticated when it comes to housing affordability, got more sophisticated when it came to actually collaborating amongst the various agencies. And if you all can do me a favor, I'm his best hype man here, but he really deserves a lot of credit. And that is the best mayor in the United States, our 61st mayor of the city of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens. All right, good afternoon, Atlanta. How y'all doing? Thank you, Clyde, for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership, and man, I'm just so proud of you and what you're doing here at the Atlanta BeltLine. I remember the things that we are to really move his team to get actions done. You've been tremendous. These accelerated goals that I gave you when I became mayor, you have delivered upon them. Everybody give Clyde Higgs, the CEO of BeltLine, and his entire team a round of applause. So this is the first Monday of summer, and it showed up. It's hot. It's hot out here, y'all, and so that's why Clyde and I, so we communicated this. I'm like, where's the time? It's heat, Clyde. We both talked about it. And I remember that the only controversy in this country was the president wearing a tan suit. So I wore that tan suit today. While the world is going through a whole lot, we got challenges across the world and across our nation. I decided I'd make one bit of news by wearing a tan suit and a black elected official. So I do want to take a moment to recognize some folks here today. Not only should we recognize Clyde and our fellow Atlanta BeltLine leadership and all the men and women of the Atlanta BeltLine. Thank y'all for what y'all do. To the Atlanta BeltLine board members, I've been a board member. When I first joined City Council in 2014, I was placed on the BeltLine board, and look at where we are today. So to my board members and John Summerholder somewhere around here, who is the chairman of the board. Thank you to the Atlanta BeltLine Partnership. Of course, to Byron Amos, our great city council member of this district, Loretta Bolden of the school board, and Dana Baird of the Fulton County Commission, and of course to our state leaders, our state senator Sonia Halpern, and of course Bryce Berry represents us there as well. To commissioners that get this stuff going, Commissioner Cavanis and Commissioner Cutler of DOT and Parks and Rec. Now the BeltLine manages the trail, but the BeltLine also has partnerships with our DOT and our Parks and Rec each and every day, so that makes a big difference. I want to also shout out Jabari Samano, who is a former city council member but continues to do the work in the community today. Nisha Samano. Leadership here at Washington Park, to this great community, this leadership team, these phenomenal people. I don't know if you all got a chance to see us have that memorial, that sign right there. That's going to really make people understand this historic community. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you to the NPD leaders that are here and everybody all in between all of that. It's the Atlanta Housing Authority's Commission Chairman, Larry Stewart, is here too. So I know there are so many faces. I want to acknowledge all of them because this is a group project. BeltLine is a true manifestation of a group project. Today we're cutting the ribbon on segment 4 of the Atlanta BeltLine Westside Trail, a 1.3 mile stretch from here at Lena Street all the way up to Wheeler Street, bringing us nearly 7 miles of continued paved trail from Pittsburgh Yards all the way to Huff Road, y'all. From Pittsburgh Yards, you can go play top golf and come on back. That's crazy that you could do that. This is the longest continuous section of the BeltLine that we've built, representing major progress for our city. And I gotta just say it, I can remember when we were all having conversations about all the development and the growth that was happening on the east side for the BeltLine construction. I joined the board in 2014, and I said, the folks on the west side, and I live on the west side, the folks on the west and the south side are doubting that this is ever gonna come our way. People were doubting if this loop was ever gonna be finished. And we said, well, we're gonna make sure that the west side looks good. We make sure we had lights and cameras on the west side before we even had it on the east side.
And that was a commitment to show people that we were serious about making sure that this loop was completed and that it was equitable and fair for all sides and all people. And so I'm grateful for that. This Westside Trail winds through some of Atlanta's oldest and most historic neighborhoods. This trail segment connects Washington Park to Hunter Hills to Bankhead. Everybody. I mean, this is amazing. It's going to connect everybody. And Washington Park was one of Atlanta's first planned black neighborhoods, just like the one I live in, Collier Heights. And now it's tied directly into downtown and West Midtown and linked to easily accessible transit, parks, schools, and small businesses. Kids can walk safely to school. Families can spend time together outdoors. Folks can get to jobs and shops without worrying about a vehicle. Along this trail, you'll find new businesses and new public art, ADA compliant paths, lighting, signs, and cameras make it safer and more inclusive for our residents. The Westside BeltLine connector ties also into Mercedes-Benz and State Farm Arena. And so this is what we mean to move Atlanta forward with purpose and vision while focusing on projects that benefit everybody. So folks of all ages can come together. 85% of the full 22-mile loop is either completed or under construction, and that's something that Atlanta should be proud of that about. This is not finished yet. We're going to keep on moving and getting this thing done this time next year, 17 miles of continuous trail. And Clyde says you can go from Piedmont Park to Washington Park. You'll be able to go from Ansley Mall all the way around to Huff Road, all the way to almost Howell Mills. That's a long ways for us to be able to move this time next year. 17 miles. So I'm going to skip through some more notes since it's hot. And what I just want to say is, thank you to the BeltLine team, our partners, and everyone else who helped make this possible, including the hard-working men and women of the construction teams that got this done. We got to thank them, y'all, for constructing this thing on time, on budget. And we don't talk about this enough, but under Clyde's leadership, the BeltLine is over 40% disadvantaged business enterprises that have got this project done. Over 40%. This is Maynard Jackson type work. I look forward to joining you all shortly to cut the ribbon on Westside Trail Segment 4, because we're constructing all the time. And so this is, again, moving Atlanta forward until we get the 22-mile loop completed. Thank you all for joining us on this journey. And now I'll bring up Byron Amos, our city council member of this great district.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Come on, I know it's hot. You want to scream louder than that. Good afternoon. There we go. You know, I had about a 3 to 4 minute speech. It took me about 30 seconds to realize that was 3 or 4 minutes too long. So I left it. You know, I'll be completely honest. This is a special day for the BeltLine. But the reason it's special for me because it is happening right here in Washington Park on the west side, city of Atlanta, District 3. If you really want to know the importance of being here, go back down to the monument we just unveiled to read the history of this great neighborhood. As the mayor said, the first planned African-American neighborhood. Learn the name of Human Perry and what it meant to this neighborhood, to the city, and of course, I have to call the greatest alma mater, Booker T. Washington High School. But also, I always go back to Dr. Clark, who I believe demonstrated the first BeltLine because she was born here with the E.R. Carter, went to Washington High, went to the Atlanta University Center. So she was able to move back and forth. And the reason I'm bringing that up, because I realized when I was on the school board, you can do M. Jones, Brown, and Washington High School all on the BeltLine. Buy your child a bike, moving to the west side. But when you talk about historic dirt, when this leaves Washington Park and goes into West End, when it leaves Washington Park, goes into Hunter Hills and Western Bankhead Heights and Grove Park, we're talking about history. So today that we're opening this in Washington Park is just another part of history. If you stop and think about Washington Park, and I call them the ladies of Washington Park, they have produced some wonderful leaders. Some wonderful leaders that I stand on the shoulder of, and I say thank you. They're nothing but a phone call away for the good and the bad, but also a phone call away if you need them to battle. When the trees was not coming down or the construction equipment was left on the ground and we needed to move the trail to the left or the right, the Conservancy was called. And then I called Jill, and Jill made it happen. Where's Jill? I want to say thank you to Jill, too. But I'm gonna sit down and be quiet. But this is a good day for the neighborhood. It is a good day for the city of Atlanta. And once again, we lead the nation. The world is now watching, especially Jatan Suit. But the world is watching, and we will continue to lead. So welcome to the Westside. Welcome to Washington Park. More importantly, welcome to the City Council District 3. Thank you. And I'm bringing up my school board members, the Honorable Reverend Moore.
This crowd, good afternoon. It is an honor to be here, and I am both a partner as well as a beneficiary of this amazing Westside BeltLine. So I am your District 2 board member of the Atlanta Board of Education, and I'm also a 21-year homeowner in Washington Park. Right, so I remember walking this trail when it was dirt, and being sad when they closed it down, but they opened back up, and we were able to go all the way up, honestly, to Adair Park, and now we can go all the way down to Westside Park. So again, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be here to witness this, and I want to thank all those who advocated, all those who designed, and all those who built this and helped make this possible. Because in addition to the schools that Councilman Byron Amos mentioned, we also have Hollis Innovation, which is just over here, and Kip Ways. So we are connecting our neighborhoods, we are connecting our children, we are connecting to green spaces.
Get it, go fast. I'm Commissioner Dana Barrett, and I am just so honored to be here on the West Side for this momentous occasion. Thank you, Board Member Baldwin, for the introduction. I have to start by thanking you, Mayor, for your vision and for your commitment to the BeltLine and to the city in general. I really appreciate your leadership. As a member of the Fulton County Board of Commissioners, I can tell you that we often discuss our investment in the tax allocation district that helps support the development of the BeltLine and the surrounding area. And although sometimes our conversation is
as well as the entire ADI design team, Alta, Beth McMillan, who's not with us, Invest Atlanta, and so many others who have stayed engaged and in partnership on making this project a success today. I want to speak for a moment about perception versus reality. For 106 years, Washington Park has existed as a cultural, historical, and recreational base for the African American community. I know from experience that from high school to the Atlanta University Center, many folks often refer to the park as a place to party. The reality is something quite different. The legacy of this space and everything that surrounds it is organized on land that belonged to the Muscogee Creek Nation. It is a fact that it has also existed as two antebellum farms. We continue to acknowledge that the leadership of Mr. Heman Edward Perry, Mrs. Virginia Burns Hope, and the ladies of the Neighborhood Union, as well as the founders of our HBCUs, who fought together to advocate for the creation of the first exclusive public green space for African Americans in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. The impact of that reality led to the opening of Booker T. Washington in 1922. Understand that this was Maynard's Park. Understand that this was young Martin's park. The reality is that the foundation of the prosperity of the Black middle class in Atlanta was created through Washington Park. I submit to you today that Washington Park is a sacred place, that it is very much more than a place to party. There is an unfortunate trend in our nation today to attempt to alter historical facts that some may find uncomfortable. I state to you today that the very purpose of our work as a community organization is to make sure that Washington Park, the individuals who created it, fought for it, and educated our children through it, will never be erased. I thank you. And
right, gang. We are coming to the home stretch. I know you're ready. I know you're ready. But I must recognize, again, we talked about all the TAG partners. Also want to recognize Councilmember Julian Bond, who is also in the building. Right here, all right. Let's recognize Councilmember Bond. And also want to, Mayor also mentioned this, but John Summerholder, who is the board chair for Atlanta BeltLine. My predecessor, Brian McGowan, I think he's around here somewhere, but there he is, all right. And then also, as we close up, gang, there's been a lot of folks that have made this project happen, but I want you to really recognize the entire Atlanta BeltLine team with a round of applause for advancing this project. Good stuff there. You have to keep a very happy team, and so much that I'll brag a little bit, but the Atlanta Business Chronicle just announced that the BeltLine is the best place to work in the city of Atlanta. So there we go. So we will now officially close, and if you all will do me a solid, throw up your A's, and we're going to do a quick selfie here. On 1, 2, 3. All right, give me the A. Hey. All right, we're adjourned.
Ain't no more.